Okay, I'm back on Excel Project 5, that logic and nested functions sheet, and we're at the overtime hours. So what we need to take a look at here is, are we going to calculate some overtime pay for our workers? What we're wanting to look at is how many hours did they work based on a regular work week, and if they did, we want to take their hours and multiply it times their overtime rate and show them exactly how much overtime pay that they're going to get. And so how I like to start this one out is I'm going to open up my function box just to get a little bit of extra help on keeping all this separate. So I'm going to open up my if function arguments box and my logic test. So my first logic test that I'm going to have is their hours worked greater than my regular overtime or my regular work hours, and make sure that we make that an absolute cell reference. So if this is a true statement, then I'm going to do some calculations. And what's really cool about the if function is that we can actually, on a true statement, false statement, we can create some calculations. And so my calculation is I need to figure out how many hours they worked over and multiply it by their overtime rate so it will return a value. And so I'm going to put in parentheses just to have a nice clean formula to follow my order of operations. I'm going to take their hours worked minus my regular hours. Make sure I put that in at absolute cell reference. And let's put that back into their parentheses. And then I said I'm going to multiply that times their overtime rate. And so if that's true, I'm going to return this value. And if it's false, do they get any overtime pay if they didn't work any overtime? No. So we're going to put in a 0. So it's just that simple. We're going to say, okay, this guy, he worked 2 hours over. 2 times 15 is 30. Looks like it's spot on. I'm going to drag this down and fill it in. I can see that, hey, out of all these guys that work for me, only 2 are going to get some overtime pay.